Hello everyone, this is Super Dimensional Bun. Today I'm going to be reviewing Bandai's high-grade 144 scale Gundam Wing Zero Custom from the OAV series in this Waltz. So this kit was produced back in 1998 and currently retails for 1,000 yen. This kit was in the line of I guess high-grade kits for the Gundam Wing series, just specifically for the OAV series. Yeah, so let's go ahead and start with review. Let's take a closer look at the kit. Of course, there's a fair amount of details on it. Of course, I painted it, but I'll point out areas where paint needs to be done. So this is a kit that came out prior to high-grade Universal Century line, so you can say this is kind of a precursor to better technology. Alright. And as a kit from the 90s, a lot of kits were two halves that were split right down the middle, but that's how they were made back then. So, alright, let's start with the articulation. Take a look at the head. Technically it should go 360, but because of the shoulders, these the little Gatling shoulders, that's not possible. These things do not open up like they do in the real grade, so that's one thing for the technology back then. The arms can go 360, but then they're kind of hindered by the wings. So much for that. Yeah, of course, the arm itself can only bend about so far. This mainly because I guess the shoulder pads and these things on the forearms kind of prevent it from doing so. Oops. The arms can only bend 90 degrees, but they're connected by polycaps. So you can actually turn them 360, twist our arms, it won't break. Hands are all polycaps there, so you can spin them 360. Now, the thing about these the series of kits, high-grade kits, is that they all have polycap hands. They're all molded in gray, so I obviously painted these hands. So it came with two other sets of hands. So this is actually what they look like. This is the open palm. These are, of course, the ones that can hold weapons, and then closed fists. Okay. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the waist. So the waist can't turn too much. It's hindered by the skirt armor. And let's see, the skirt armor itself goes out about that far. The rear skirt armor is fixed in place, so there's no possibility of moving there. Side skirt armor is just connected peg into a polycap. Leg, now it's hindered by the front skirt armor. It goes out so far, and that far back. Now, the leg itself. Now, this is kind of a nice thing. It can actually bend all the way 180. And now the foot. So, not too much range of motion there, maybe because the design of this, I don't know, plate in front kind of also hinders its movement. And side to side, not a lot of movement there either, but let's see. I mean, legs themselves can split pretty far. Well, not very far. They can split, but it's not flat on its feet. And now let's take one last look at the wings. So they're connected by polycaps on these joints. let's say. The smaller wings, you can see that there, it's connected by hard plastic pieces, so I wouldn't move them too much side to side. It would probably wear down the plastic pieces, and you'll end up with very loose wings. Now, they're connected in plastic pegs into holes in the back, which can turn freely, technically 360. Let's see. Now this wing could go upward and downward. That's it. Now, the bigger wings, of course, 2 polycaps. As you can see, it could bend out pretty far. Now, I had to say, I painted the insides of these next to the polycaps just so it could hold its strength up a little better, but as you can see, it's still falling down. So, I mean, the wings are kind of heavy. They're made of a different kind of plastic. It's a little more flexible. So, let's see that there again. So, it can take a little more abuse than the rest of the kit. Okay. And being that this line of kits has had some action poses, it came with a second torso, which is hunched forward a little bit, so then it could do its iconic double-barreled pose that the Wing Gundam Custom did at the end of the series. So I'll show that to you guys in a minute. But this kit also, since it can do its folded up position, I guess, I don't know how to call it. It was a folded up position, I guess, like in the beginning of the series, where its wings were used as heat shields. And that's pretty much it. Oh man. Yeah, I broke this in a previous review, so there we go again. Anyway, I was abusing it and it broke off, so oh well. Anyway, the wings are a little bit back heavy. It's a good thing though, is that you can use the wings that help stand it up. We'll just talk about this later. Anyway. Alright. Next we got the beam cannons. Double beam cannons. Now the handles can fold upward. You can pretty much get them back out, like so. And they have little tabs. I don't know if you can see that right on the left buster cannon that connects into the little holes into the right side, so you can put them together like so. Now fold one up and fold one down, so then this kit can hold the buster cannons, buster gun, whatever. Right, shoulders up. Okay. And this kit also comes with 2 beam sabers. Now they were made of the same material as the wings, so they're slightly more flexible than your normal beam sabers. Okay. And let's go ahead and put on this other torso just to give you guys a look what it looks like together. Hopefully I won't break the other wing, which I don't know. We'll see. Well, you know what? I'll leave the wings on this torso for now. So as you can see, the shoulders are hunched forward a little bit, so it can look like it's holding a buster rifle with 2 hands. And it's connected to the kit, the lower half. So now it's standing up straight. Now he's hunched forward, like he's using a cane. Anyway, so there you have that. Okay, let me go ahead and put this thing back. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. So, well, let's see. There's one thing I wanted to note was that there's a few places that need painting. Obviously, the beam sabers. They're all molded in white, so you need to paint that green. The little green part in the chest. The blue parts on this front skirt armor. This red part right here on the crotch armor, let's say. The white on the feet. The beam sabers on the back here. You can see right there. These yellow lines on the shoulder pads and these blue parts on the shoulders. Let's see. On these forearms, it was split in two, and this half was all with blue, so you'll need to paint half of it white. And right there, and the hands, of course, the white parts on the waist, and let's see, maybe some gray parts. Oh yeah, the gray parts for these little shoulder gatlings, the white part here, the red part on the chin. You paint the eyes if you want. A sticker came with that, and same with this crest. I think I painted a little purple right there in the top visor or view camera, and green in that last part. There's all the little details. Oh yeah, and green inside the scope in the guns. I painted those cables red because I thought it looked better that way. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do a comparison. So this is compared to Strike HGCE Strike Gundam. It's supposedly smaller than the Strike, which would be 18 meters, and this one's 16 meters. And let's take a look at the original Wing Gundam Zero from back in the early 90s. It's a little taller than this one, and definitely less chunky. The heads are smaller. Buster beam rifles are longer here, thinner. Yeah. Anyway, so my final thoughts on this kit. So you get another torso to do an action pose. You get 2 beam sabers, and that's it. No shield as compared to the old kit. I mean, it's 1,000 yen. It's not that much. It has good proportions. It has a good amount of detail. Hopefully yours won't break. I mean, I had this thing for over 10 years, so something was bound to happen. I'll probably put some pins in it or something. I'm not very good at that. But anyway, it has a very nice look. It has had wings to make it look angelic. At the time, before I was into Gundams, I thought it was kind of funny looking, but it grew on. The look of it grew on me. Of course, this kit was also designed. Oh, the suit was designed by Hameji Katori, is that his name? So definitely a different look from these other Gundams. So for 1,000 yen, this is what you get. Love it or hate it. I think it's a pretty good kit. But of course, if there's a real grade out there, if another, was it 1,500 yen extra, for something that's probably has better proportions, and you need less paint, let's say. But for 1,000 yen, not a bad buy if you want to save money. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this review. Please subscribe, and see you next time.